Buongiorno a tutti. If you are here in Italy or you're planning to come soon and you want to enter a shop, ask for something, and interact with the shop assistant without feeling uncomfortable, then this video is for you. Many students feel uncomfortable when they enter a shop in Italy, not knowing exactly how to ask for something or how to properly handle the interaction. So they either stay silent or switch to English immediately. And this is a pity, as I always say, è un peccato, because these kind of simple interactions are a great opportunity to build your, let's call it, speaking portfolio and build your experience and confidence in speaking Italian. So here's why this happens to so many students. When learning Italian, most students focus on specific vocabulary and a few isolated phrases to use in the situations that they think they will encounter. But real life interactions, like for example, being in a shop, often follow a structure. If you don't know this structure, even simple situations can feel confusing when you actually live them, and you may not know what to say next. Now, the good news is that this structure applies to any type of shop, from clothing stores to pharmacies. So, if you learn just a few key phrases for each step of this structure, you can handle almost any situation in any shop in Italy, even if you are a beginner. So, let's see this structure together and let's learn a few key phrases for each step of the interaction. So, step number one, numero uno. This is greeting. When you enter a shop, it's a good habit in Italy. That's the custom for us to greet the people who are in there, the shop assistants. So the best way to do this is just with one simple word that works in any situation and in any time of the day. And that word is salve. Salve is a polite way of saying hello, and it's the most appropriate with strangers, like for example, a shop assistant, because using ciao in this context can sound inappropriate or may make you come across as too casual. So just remember one word, salve, and this works in the morning, in the evening, at night, in any situation. Now, the first sentence the shop assistant will probably use with you, and it's important to know it so you can immediately recognize it, is this one. Come posso aiutarla? Come posso aiutarla? And that is the Italian way of asking, how may I help you? So it's important that you know this phrase, even though you are not going to use it. But I will recommend that you practice it because this way you can recognize it more easily when it's going to be asked to you. So, come posso aiutarla? After this phrase, then the interaction is going to start. So that's step two, interacting with the shop assistant. If you want to ask for something, then the simplest way to do that is just saying, I need something. But how do you say I need something in Italian? The easiest way is this. Ho bisogno di. Ho bisogno di. This is how Italians say I need. As you can notice, the structure is a little bit different from English, but this is actually not a bad thing if you understand how the structure works, because it's super adaptable to whatever you need. So we say I have, ho, need, bisogno, of, di. So ho bisogno di, I have, need of. That's how we say I need in Italian. So what you do is that you just repeat this phrase, you don't change it, it works anywhere, ho bisogno di, and then you add the specific thing you're looking for. So for example, ho bisogno di una maglietta, a t-shirt. So salve, ho bisogno di una maglietta. I need a t-shirt. If you need anything else, no problem. Repeat ho bisogno di and then add the specific name of the thing that you're looking for. Now, if you want more information, like for example, how much something costs, then you can ask quanto costa? Quanto costa? That literally means how much does it cost? So this is a good phrase to learn. And another thing that's typical of the interaction with a shop assistant is asking to try something on. So if you want to try something or want to try something on, you can use this phrase. Posso provare questo? This is the easiest way to phrase this question. Can I try this? And if you don't know the name of the specific thing, you can just point at it with questo. So super simple, even if you're a beginner. Posso provare questo? Perfetto. Now let's move into step 3, which is closing the interaction. At this point, a common question that the shop assistant will ask, so in this case, you have had your interaction, you ask for something, they gave it to you, you ask how much does it cost, you try to try that on. At this point, you have chosen your thing that you want to buy. At this point, when you get into closing, there's a common question that shop assistants in Italy always ask, and that is, let's take a little bit more space. Ha bisogno di altro? Ha bisogno di altro? This is another question, another phrase that you are not going to use, but it's so important for you to know it so you don't freeze or look puzzled when you hear this. They're asking you, do you need anything else? Ha bisogno di altro? At this point, it's up to you. If you're looking for something else, then reply sì and start over again from the previous steps. But if you don't, then simply reply no, grazie. No, grazie. And at this point, you may want to know if you can pay. For example, you may want to pay in cash, or you may want to pay with credit card. So how do you phrase that question? That would be posso pagare, so can I pay? And then if you want to pay cash, then you need to add in contanti. And this is a question, so posso pagare in contanti? Or if you want to pay with your credit card, then it is posso pagare con la carta? Posso pagare con la carta? So these are the two options for payment, and you may want to ask that too. And finally, when you leave, it's important to greet the shop assistant again. And the best way to do that is with arrivederci. Arrivederci. Arrivederci is the same as salve. When you leave, don't use ciao. That would be too informal in most situations. So arrivederci works perfectly in any situation and any time of the day. So one word for when you come in, for to say hello, salve, and one word to say goodbye, arrivederci. And you will always be perfect. Now, I would love to know if you've ever been in a shop in Italy and you didn't know what to say or how to handle the conversation. Let me know in the comments about your experience. Now, going back to the phrases, the ones that I showed you today, will effectively cover most of the requests that you might have in any type of shop in Italy. But sometimes you might enter a shop just out of curiosity for browsing, and that's perfectly fine. So in this case, after you greet the person, so always start with salve, and after the shop assistant will ask you come posso aiutarla, what you want to say in this case, if you just want to have a look around, is this. Sto solo guardando. Grazie. I'm just looking. Thank you. And this will be perfectly fine. By the way, if you want to easily review all these phrases, then check out the PDF I prepared for this video. In the PDF, you will find all the phrases that we're learning today and a helpful recap of the rules and usages that I am explaining, so you can keep it handy for your next trip. If you want to get the PDF, you can download it immediately. You can find the link to download it in the description below this video, and as always, it's free. Now, one last tip. Before your trip, try a very simple exercise at home. Pretend you are in a shop in Italy. Look at objects around you, for example, clothes, shoes, or everyday items, and imagine you want to buy them. Then say out loud what you would say in Italian if you were here in Italy shopping for those items. Even just a few minutes like this, practicing like this, can make a huge difference in your experience when you are here in Italy. Because this way, when you are in a real shop in Italy, you won't be starting from zero. You have already practiced the situation before, even if by yourself. And also remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to give it a try. So please do this next time you come and you want to have some shopping in Italy. È tutto per oggi. It's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Ciao da Valentina.